Mike is a young man in his 20s and he really wants to become extremely successful. He constantly sees those guys on social media living an incredible life, a life he could only dream of. So Mike decides he's going to become an entrepreneur and start his own online business. On a Thursday night, Mike sits down at his desk and opens up his laptop. He's ready to do some work, but his friends call him and say, "Hey, you should come with us to the party. Come on Mike, you have big goals. You know that you need to make sacrifices and do the work." But hey, it's too late. Mike is already on his way to the club. After all, he can do the work tomorrow, right? You know, when he's going to have this massive brain fog because of all the alcohol he's going to drink. Silly Mike. If Mike truly wants to become a successful man, he will need to rewire his brain to become successful. The truth is that he will never achieve his goals as long as he stays that version of himself. If we haven't met before, my name is Fred, and just a couple years ago, I was completely broke and depressed. I hated my life. Fast forward to today, and I am now running a profitable online business and having a life that I never thought I could have. But this massive transformation would have never been possible if I didn't transform myself as a person. And that is exactly why, in this video, I want to share with you how you too can rewire your brain for success and obtain the sort of life that you've always dreamed of. In fact, a life much better than your dreams. The first thing is that you need to understand that your reality is a reflection of your beliefs. Now, I realize that this might sound a bit woo-woo to the average person, but your reality is truly most of the time a reflection of your core beliefs. To give you an example, we see this a lot with young guys on the internet. If you truly believe that the dating market is skewed, then you won't make an effort to improve yourself and to someday find a loving and caring partner. Just like when you put something on a pedestal, let's say a certain type of car, luxury, having a loving and caring partner. On a subconscious level, you signal to your brain, "I don't deserve that, it's out of my reach, I will never have it." And so naturally your actions will follow that same belief. If you don't believe that you have a chance to get what you want, that it's impossible, guess what? You won't get it. And it's not because of some woo-woo, magical, mystical thing. It's because you won't do what it takes to get those things. Anything that you start in life, it is motivated, inspired by the belief that you can get it. You would never even go to the gym if you didn't think that you could become muscular or lose weight, get in shape. You would never go and approach the person that you like if you didn't have this slight hope that they're into you as well. You would never start your own online business if you thought you can't make it work. Everything starts from belief. And the most successful person that I've ever walked on this planet, it's always because they had a vision and they were willing to do anything to make that vision come true. They didn't give up at the slightest difficulty, they kept going. And in life, you'll often have to go through this dark valley where nothing is going your way. It's a period in which you are going to be tested by life, by events, and by people. It typically happens when you are trying to achieve something big, whether it be going from obese to extremely fit or building a multi-million-dollar empire. Those are big things to achieve. And the dark valley, it's essentially when you're putting in the work, but you are not seeing results or barely any progress. In this situation, you have two options. You can typically quit, which is the path that most people follow, or you can choose to keep putting in the work. Why? Because you have the belief that you can make it work, that you can figure it out along the way. Even if right now in your current reality, nothing is showing you that you're right. All the things that you want, the success, the abundance, the freedom, the love, if it were so easy to obtain, you wouldn't want those things. They wouldn't have much value. You'd want the next thing. I've been through many dark periods in my life. I was putting in the work, not seeing results, and it was making me extremely frustrated and angry. Because after all, shouldn't I be rewarded for all the hard work I put in? One day on social media, probably Instagram, I saw this picture of two guys mining diamonds. And whenever I feel like quitting, I always remember that picture vividly. You're going to see it on the screen right now, but it's typically one guy mining for diamond really hard. He's about to hit it big. And then there's another guy, he's really close to having the diamond, yet he walks away. He quits. He could have gotten everything he's ever wanted, but he just gave up before he had his breakthrough moment. And that is why you must never quit, because your breakthrough moment can be closer than you realize. And also you have to realize our own biology is programmed to confirm what we believe to be true. It's literally called the confirmation bias. It is one of the many cognitive biases that we have as human beings. If you think that you're unattractive, to give you an example, you think that this is what other people think when they see you, then every time somebody's going to look at you, automatically on a conscious and also on a subconscious level, you'll think that this person is looking at you because you're unattractive. So every time someone looks at you, it will confirm your belief again and again and again until you hate yourself so much you can't even get out of your house. And the worst part about it is that in reality, you have no idea what the person is thinking when they're looking at you. I mean, for all you know, they could think that you're attractive, but because you've got this belief that no, you must be unattractive, then that is exactly the story that is going to pan out in your reality. Now, something else you really need to realize is that we have been programmed for mediocrity. Ever since the day we were born, you and I, we have been programmed to be good consumers and good taxpayers. That's it, nothing more. We've been told that only geniuses, people with an insane amount of willpower, people who are superhuman because they're born that way, can achieve extraordinary things. We've been told that we need to be lucky. And there is such a thing as luck, I'll grant you that. If you're born in a wealthy family, as opposed to being born in a poor family, you obviously got lucky, you didn't work for it. But at the same time, does it mean that you should just throw your hands in the air and quit if you don't have the best circumstances ever? Of course not, because you are the only one responsible for your own success. Plenty of people don't want to hear this, because in a way they love to inflict pain upon themselves. They love to play the victim, because other people will sympathize with them. It will make them feel better about themselves, and they will get the attention of other people for a brief moment. In life, there are two ways that you can get attention: by becoming extremely successful, achieving big things, but hey, that's difficult. And the other way that you can get attention is by being a complete failure, by doing crazy things, by being the victim. Now, if you listen to the advice of most people around you, you will end up in a similar position. I never took financial or career advice from my teachers or from my parents, simply because they are not in the financial situation I want to be in. Everyone knows it wouldn't make sense to ask a obese personal trainer for some weight loss advice. Or if you go to the gym, you're not going to ask the skinny dude how to get jacked, because most likely they have no idea. So stop listening to the people who don't live the sort of life that you want, who don't have the same level of financial freedom and abundance that you want for yourself. If you want to obtain different results than the majority of people, you'll need to act differently. You'll need to feel like an outcast a bit. You'll be the weirdo. But then when you become successful, in their eyes, you'll be the genius. So if you're not willing to look like a weirdo for a couple of years, then ask yourself, how bad do you really want it? Now, the other thing is that before you actually program your brain for success, you need to deprogram it. Everything society, your teachers, your parents, your friends, everything they have told you about success and money, you need to put that in the trash can. Because if they are not successful individuals themselves, they don't know what they're talking about. Most people have no clue how money works. They don't understand that money derives from value. Whenever they see the price tag of something, they think it's expensive. My parents complained about the price of everything all of my life. Every time around dinner, they would complain about the price of this, of that, of that. So only after deprogramming your brain from all the stuff society has put in your head from the day you were born, can you actually start the learning curve. Why, you may ask? Think of your brain like a SD card. If it's full, you can't add any more stuff in there. Or to give you another example, let's say you are trying to make a delicious soup, the best soup you've ever tried in your life. Let's say you have some veggies boiling in a pot, but they're rotten, they're disgusting. Is this soup going to be great? Not really. It's probably going to taste disgusting. So what should you do then? Now that you have gathered the right healthy ingredients, should you just add them with the rotten ingredients and then it's going to make a good soup? No, of course not. You need to remove all the rotten, wrong ingredients from the pot, clean it, and then you can start making another soup with the right ingredients. The same concept applies to reprogramming your brain for success, because chances are you might have a lot of beliefs that don't come from you. You might have been told that this or that is expensive, but I'll tell you one thing. For some people, $10,000, it's pennies, while for a lot of people, it's a lot of money. But in business, $10,000 is nothing. Now, I'll be honest, it's very difficult to change people's beliefs. I'm not suggesting that you even try, because direct confrontations rarely work. If you really want to change someone's mind, you need to have a very open person in front of you. It's not going to work with everyone. In fact, plenty of studies have shown that confronting people about their beliefs actually only makes their beliefs stronger, even if they're the wrong, incorrect beliefs. Very few are the people who can step outside of themselves for a moment, look at things objectively, and realize and admit that they were wrong about a specific thing. Instead, plenty of people prefer to defend their egos to the death. But for me, progress is more important than ego. Now, the other thing to reprogram yourself for success is to find the right mentors. Like I said earlier, you would not take weight loss advice from an obese personal trainer unless you're crazy. But that is why you need to take advice from the people who have the sort of results that you want to have. I didn't go to university because no university teacher was going to show me how to have a multi-million-dollar business, because they are university professors. They read textbook materials, but most of them have never even built a business. They teach you stuff about web marketing, but it's all outdated from 2010. Most of them don't even know what the hell YouTube is. Now, the reason why having a mentor or a coach is so great is because if you try to figure everything by yourself, it's going to be an extremely difficult and long process. I'll tell you this, everything I've been able to achieve today, learning English and Spanish all on my own, building a muscular physique I can be proud of, having someone I love by my side, running a profitable online business, I've only been able to do those things because I learned from other people, because I found mentors, because I read books, because I followed online courses, because I watched hundreds of YouTube videos. I have an insatiable appetite for knowledge, and because I applied that knowledge, I was able to make progress in my life. The people who think they know everything, they never move forward. Now, you don't have to read books per se, you can listen to podcasts, take online courses, watch YouTube videos, but when you try to figure out everything by yourself, in the end, you're never guaranteed to get what you want. Now, if you really don't have much money, fair enough, you might have to figure everything out by yourself. I didn't really have that much money when I got started, so I needed to figure out everything by myself. But if you can avoid doing all of that, you can pay books, online courses, things like that, you can move so much faster, because because now instead of making the mistakes yourself, you will learn from people who have walked on the same path as you did. And so now you shortcut the process 10 times. And that's exactly why we decided to create Consulting Fastlane. We help people to start their own service-based online business and go from 0 to 6 figures in annual revenue with it. We are there every step of the way. Now, if you want to discover what is the best online business to start, I've recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together, we'll be taking a look at the pros, at the cons, and I am also going to share with you, for completely free, the 3-step process that you can use to start getting your first customers right away. If you're interested, there's the link in the description below. Now, something else is that you want to be private about your goals. The reason why I'm saying this is because you don't want to let the skepticism of other people kill your dreams. Understand this, doubts will kill more dreams than anything else. When people don't get what they want, it's usually not because of a lack of skill, of talent, of knowledge, or of anything else. It's because they let the doubts creep inside their mind, and so they quit before they become successful, because they don't get results immediately, so now they let the doubts consume them. Their friends and family tell them, are you sure this is going to work? Are you sure that this business thing of yours is ever going to work? And so you listen to them, you see, you're not really getting results, so now you quit. When in fact, the only reason why you don't have what you want is because you haven't been putting in the work for long enough. It's a matter of time. Other people's skepticism is the reason why you do not see me share my goals publicly, especially when you start something, so you're at the very beginnings, you don't have any results. Most people will be extremely skeptical about what you do. And because I'll tell you this, a lot of people don't want to see you doing better than them. So if you fail, it makes them feel better about being a failure themselves. So don't wait for other people to believe in you to get started. Otherwise, you will end up extremely disappointed. Trust me. Ironically, studies have been done and have found that the people who visualize having the life that they want. You know, it was a very popular practice not too long ago on social media. You had to visualize the life that you wanted, have a vision board. I did all those things. But those studies found that the people who did that, who visualized, they didn't become more successful. And if anything, it's the opposite. They were less likely to reach their goals and to get what they wanted than people who didn't visualize. Why? It's because your body and brain are incapable of knowing the difference between what is imaginary, what isn't real, and what is real. And if you don't believe me, tell me, when you wake up in the middle of the night because you've had a nightmare, your body is shaking, sweating, trembling. You feel fear. Your heart is beating faster. How come this happens? It's because your brain and body cannot tell the difference between what is happening in reality and inside of your mind. So the reason why people who visualize are less likely to reach their goals is because on a subconscious level, they trick their brains into thinking they have achieved what they wanted to achieve. And so now they feel like, oh, they can relax. It's fine. They have those things anyway, so they don't need to work so hard anymore. Now, I personally always hated visualizing, but at some point I was forcing myself to do it because all the gurus said that you needed to do it, but I hated it because it simply made me focus on the things that I didn't have in my life. So it made me more unhappy. And to become successful, you need to become good at being present in the moment. You need to have those big long-term goals, of course, but then every day you need to get in the trenches and do the work. It's all happening now in the present moment. And then one day you look back, your life is insane. You have achieved so much. Now finally, understand this one thing. You get what you think you deserve. In life, the funny thing is that you don't get what you deserve. Plenty of people did terrible things and they deserve to be punished, yet they get away with it. All of their lives, they will never face the consequences of their actions. It's like the criminals. They murder people and then they never get caught. The reason why you get what you think you deserve as opposed to what you actually deserve is because if you have the belief that you can get something, that you deserve to have it, you won't settle for anything less. You will work until you get what you want. You'll be relentless. You will refuse to take no for an answer. All successful people have this stubbornness. They refused to quit until they got what they wanted. And at some point, over time, it paid off. Because at some point, when you work so hard, you finally get lucky. I mean, currently this channel is nothing in the grand scheme of things. At the time I'm recording this video, we have 1,400 subs, something like that. One day we'll have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million subs, and people will say, I got lucky. They didn't see all the years of hard work that I'm going to need to put in to make this work. So I hope you took some notes, because if you apply everything we went over in this video, there is no way you won't become extremely successful.